So here's the recap. I didn't trade today. I mean, my bias was bearish in all of S&P and Nasdaq. I mean, as you can see, S&P. Uh, I was trying to look for the demand zone, but it didn't appear clearly, and it made a pretty decent up move, but you know, my overall bias was bearish because 4 hour has broke the low, but the 1 hour swept this low, and obviously it broke structure. I mean, it would form some kind of up move, but I didn't take it because you know I was expecting for it to seek lower because there's these liquidity lying here which it seeks. And as for the demand zone, I didn't mark any demand zone as it's there isn't any obvious one. I mean, you could do this also. Look at this, and in the middle of this you might just find this as the demand zone if you aren't sure about it. But when I see Nasdaq, I I feel like it offers a better looking shot. So as for the normal setup of the TGR strategy, there was this. I mean, I almost FOMOed in this FVG because technically I will need you know when you see a fair value gap, and when he enters, he will enter like exactly. And I mean, if there was another fair value gap, I mean, I wouldn't enter. And as you can see, it formed a couple of some kind of fair value gap here. From what I saw, there was this fair value gap which prevented me from entering. This big fair value gap here is a sign that you don't enter here as soon unless it broke this, it invalidates this fair value gap. As you see, this bar broke through it, so this means it's invalidation. And there are a couple of setups here, but I didn't take any. I was planning to short, but it didn't hit this, or either this in the middle part of it. And also, I mean, if you can't find some obvious demand zone, mark the fair value gap and use the 0.6 and 0.7 mark as an indicator, which is a probable area that it would reverse. And mark this because it's between this. But I mean, unfortunately, it didn't hit. I could have marked the 5 minutes, but I don't feel like it would be a valid one, so I marked the 15 minutes, which is in the greater time frames, which logically means it holds higher power and safer. And also, I mean, I marked this, but I didn't take the trade. It would have been pretty good. I mean, if I had set set the limit order, but I didn't. I mean, like obviously, ignore this fib. This is some obvious demand zone. As you see, there are also support area here, which is pretty obvious and prominent. And you see, it swept this, it taps this high. There's the resistance zone, and obviously it will form a big move down. Yeah, Bitcoin to the moon. And too bad I don't have enough money to invest in it. I'm gonna just trade it normally. For ETH, I didn't see any setup here, so I did nothing. For Solana, I mean, as also that it applies to this is the demand zone and the fib, pretty obvious. And that's all. I mean, you could have taken a couple of setups in Nasdaq and S&P for long, but I mean, I could have confirmed with the 1 hour liquidity sweep and break of structure. I mean, this is probably a pretty good confirmation. Yeah, probably gonna note it. Bye.